Welcome to 2Plan, one of the UK's leading financial advice companies. Think of us as a national firm of financial advisors, each with our own client relationships and expertise, backed up by administration, technology and regulatory specialists, and authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority. Providing you with professional advice about pensions, investments, insurance and mortgages, to help you fulfill your plans for the future and deal with life events along the way. At 2Plan, we offer a straightforward way of working based around what's best for you. You can get one-off advice or an ongoing service looking after your long-term finances, always following our tried and tested 4-step process designed to ensure that you're always in control, clear about your options, and comfortable with your decisions. Beginning with consultation, this is where we get to know each other. We'll explain what we offer, how we work, and the cost of our services. Then we build a complete picture of your current situation and your aspirations for the future, taking on board your preferences and assessing your attitude to investment risk, as well as your ability to deal with market fluctuations. Remember, markets can go down as well as up. Step 2 is advice. We'll develop a financial strategy tailored to your needs. When you've agreed the recommendations, then and only then, we'll move to step 3. Implementing your financial plan. We'll help you with the paperwork, liaise with providers, and ensure everything runs smoothly for you. Of course, circumstances and priorities change, which brings us to step 4, ongoing service. This is an optional service for a separate charge, but it means that we can regularly review your situation and revise your plans where necessary. Of course, you can also contact your advisor at any time and keep an eye on your portfolio through our personal 2Plan Wealth Management website. Whatever level of service you require, any charges are clearly explained and agreed before you commit to anything. And there are different ways to pay, usually through advisor charges or commission, depending on your choices. It's all about providing you with the financial information and advice you need, helping you to fulfill your aspirations and enjoy the lifestyle you want. For more information, talk to your advisor.
Ladies and gentlemen, once again, it's time for hanging out with Vicky on Heritage TV, your very own station. I must sincerely apologize on behalf of Heritage TV for the late start of the program. We were just about to come on air 10 minutes to time, and we started sound issues. By God's grace, the sound has been sorted. So once again, our sincere apologies for the late start of the show. Today is our finances. But before I go ahead, I would just like to inform you that Heritage TV can be watched live on YouTube, Facebook. We are also live on Periscope and Twitter. So if you telling your friends and families about this program live, let them head to YouTube. It's live on there. We are on Facebook now. I also encourage you to share, because what we are going to discuss today is going to benefit everyone. Looking at this, COVID-19 lockdown pandemic, it's affected a lot of people one way or the other in their finances. This program has been sponsored by Vicky Estates Limited, your one-stop shop when it comes to properties. They are experts in property management, property sales, and property lessons. You can check them on www.victonestates.co.uk. On phone number is 0744-861-9711. And also, the second sponsor of this program is Eagle Heights International School, the number 1 mass tuition school, teaching from year 6 to 6th form. At the moment, tuition is via virtual, and a lot of people are on virtual, keeping themselves busy with their academics, mathematics. And a lot of people are also signing on to join, this virtual tuition. Admission is in progress, so you can contact the director on 077 322 As you see the screen, before we continue this, start this discussion, there is a disclaimer that whatever has been discussed here is for information only. If you need, personal advice, you contact our two experts personally, and they will, sort you out on individual basis according to your circumstances. So as you see on the screen, we have our disclaimer there. If you want to come on the show or you have a business to advertise on this show, please contact us on 0744-8619711 or email me newton@heritage.co.uk or call our studio on 0734-123-560. We would like to hear from you if you have a business, you want to advertise or talk about your business. I'll need you on my show. We'll have a little chat and we'll take it from there. And also, if you want people to know about your business, Heritage TV is your one-stop shop regarding media requirements. So get in touch with us and we will be happy to have you on our show and on our platform. Now, back to the program. We have two experts, one female and one male. I tried my very best to balance it, so hence having a female and a male on this platform. I'll first introduce Mrs. Mary Eyisibwedu. She is a banker, an author, financial coach, a mother, a wife, and she also has a book titled Debt to Wealth, which we'll talk about that at the end of the show. The second guest is our very own Sajad Hussein. Hussein is a qualified and an accredited financial advisor from One Financial Solutions. He is a member of London Institute of Banking and Finance and specializes in financial advice relating to investments and savings, pensions, business and personal protection, retirement, estate planning, employee benefits, mortgage and equity release, automatic enrollment, commercial finance, and more. Some of the things I really don't have any idea. So Sajad is going to go into details to let us know some of these things, which honestly I have no clue. So I'm so happy he will delve into it. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome first Mary. We say ladies first. So, Mary AEC Buedu, you are welcome to the show.
Vicky.
Yeah. How are you, Mary?
Thank you, Vicky. Fine, thank you, Vicky. Yeah,
Okay.
I'm here.
All right. I hope you are good. All right. Okay. Good. Sajad, are you there?
Of course, thank you. It's to join both
Hi,
of you
Sajad.
ladies.
Yeah. Nice to see you. Thank you. Sorry for the technicality. We were going up and down, back and forth, but and it's sorted out. So we are so happy and excited to shoot on. Yeah. So I'll start with
Certainly.
Mary. Mary, could you tell us a little bit about? I know in the introduction we've told our viewers, you are a seasoned banker and author and financial coach. How did it all start for you? Was it something you were doing, like you dreamt to do, or along the way you diverted and decided to go into fun and also writing a book?
Right. Okay. I've always been a financial coach from the beginning, and I've always been a banker. So I started my
Okay.
banking in '94, and I've worked with a lot of financial institutions in the UK, all of them in the
Okay.
UK, and I've always had the passion to write books, especially in finance. However, I started writing business books, and then I have one on motivation, and then this financial book. The reason why I wrote the financial book is because I needed it myself.
Right.
Because in school, no matter where you live, it's like we never had any financial education, whether in the UK, in the US, Ghana, anywhere. We never had a financial education, and we never had any mentors in our lives. So we all went through life like making financial mistakes. I mean, costly
Yeah.
mistakes. What I realize is it's not rocket science to be wealthy or to be financially independent. However, you need a mentor in your life.
Yes.
So personally made mistakes, but I realized that I have to learn and then teach others. So it's always been my passion, and also to teach my children the right way. What I didn't have, I just wanted to pass on to my children so they would start life in the right direction. So I started writing, and this is where I am. But the
Mm,
writing
mm.
of financial coaching has always been part of me. So all the
Okay.
mistakes I've made,
Wonderful.
pass on to, and then teach them the right way. Yeah.
Okay. Wonderful. Okay. Wow. That's very inspiring. Sajad, can you give us a little brief about yourself?
Indeed.
How did it all start, Sajad?
Starting, from the really early age, I was quite inclined towards financial education, and completed
Okay.
my undergraduates and the masters, in banking and finance, and then eventually the financial, and then on my journey towards the chartered qualification, quite shortly. Um, so a
Right.
lot of friends and the family, and also a couple of my other colleagues too, who are actually finance specialists. So the acumen and the interest, come from them.
Oh,
Okay.
wow. That's amazing. That's amazing. Thank you so much.
Mhm.
I'll start with Mary.
Mhm.
Mary, what is the impact of coronavirus on our finances?
Yes. When we started 2013, everything was fine, and then the whole coronavirus thing started.
Mm-hmm.
So it created fear and uncertainty in the market and in the economies worldwide. And people were asked
Mm-hmm.
to isolate. So they were not going out, they were not spending, they were not buying things, whether on online, or it's like they were not going to the shops. At a point, we were all asked
Okay.
to stay in lockdown. So people were not going out to
Mm-hmm.
restaurants or shops or traveling. Traveling was like, a thing of the past,
Mm,
or it's like, yeah. And tourism also has been affected. So this created
mm,
fear in it, and then it actually affected businesses. So people started losing their jobs, and all kinds of things, started happening. Loss of income,
mm,
business shutting down, effect on our savings, because if you don't have enough money, how can you save? So we had impact on savings. But the good thing is the Bank of England, I'm talking about in the UK, the Bank of
mm,
England changed rate to help individual, to help the banks, and then to help individuals. The base rate was 0.75% back in
mm,
2018, and then in March of 2020, it's been changed twice. So it changed to
okay.
0.25 and then 0.1%. When this happened, it had a negative effect on savings because the savings rate had to go down. However,
Mm,
if you have a mortgage and you had a standard variable rate or a tracker mortgage, it will have an effect on you. It will have an effect on your mortgage because the mortgage rate will go
mm,
down.
mm,
If the
mm,
rate goes down, your interest is going down. So let's say, for an example, if you're paying like £500 on your mortgage, and it goes down, you could be paying like £200 or £300. So you would be saving in a way from your mortgage.
Mm. Mm.
The does this to help people, and also to help the economy to like move and then revive quickly, rather than always going down,
Okay.
to help people have some income in their pockets. Right.
Okay.
Another, stocks and shares have also been affected. So because there's uncertainty in the market and businesses are closing down and businesses are not working and all that, it's got an effect on the stocks and shares. And
Okay.
people have been panicking to sell, but this is not the time to sell. If you sell your stocks and shares, it's like you are crystallizing. It's like you are freezing the sale price. So you are selling at the wrong time. So what you have to do is to wait, and then when the economy revives, the stocks and shares are going to bounce back, and it will come back or even exceed the prices that it used to be. But for now, stocks
Mm.
and shares have heavily impacted. Another thing is our
Okay.
pensions. So pensions, because most pensions is like linked to stocks and shares. When businesses are going down
Okay.
and there's uncertainty and stocks and shares, the stock market is tumbling all the time, pension is also going down. But if
Mm.
it's like you haven't actually reached the pensionable age and you have more time, you have nothing to worry about. Just let it run its
Okay.
course. And if I were you,
Okay.
I wouldn't even check stock prices or pension, how my pension is performing or anything. Just let it go. And if you've
Okay.
reached the pension age and you have another income to fall back on, use that and let this pension fund revive. And then it will go back
Okay.
to money to be. So it's like all
Okay,
fears
Mary.
and
Okay.
yeah.
Mm. Okay. All right. Yeah. I think we'll go into details what people should do, but we just wanted to have a brief effects of COVID on our finances. To Sajad, what is economy and what is a precise measure of economy in the UK? What is the latest economic activity since the first case of COVID-19 in the UK, Sajad?
And I was I was quite intrigued to be asked this, and in really basic terms, in layman terms, the production and the consumption of resources is basically the definition of economy in the UK, and also the management of these resources. Using a capital vehicle, which is our currency, which is the British pound, and it is used as a measure of exchange. So that is like what defines economy. Um, it
Mm.
has the economy itself. Your second part of the question was what's the precise measure. Economy is
Mm.
measured on a tertiary scale, with it's the microeconomy, the first stage, the macroeconomy, and lastly is the gross domestic product, which is the GDP.
Mm.
Microeconomy is your local councils and governments. Macroeconomy is your national government, and the GDP is the financial, imports and exports, and your revenues in relation to the global market itself. So, in relation to the COVID-19 situation, we had the first case. It was officially, the lockdown was officially started in the UK on the 23rd of March in 2020. And if you take a look at the decline, the first 3 months of this year, the UK experienced the sharpest economic contraction since the peak of the financial crisis in 2008
Mm.
and quarter four.
Mm.
So, from obviously, from implementing that, there was a minimal 5.8% single month fall in March, in the GDP, and also in general, in quarter one there has been a 2% fall and 2% contraction in 2020, and which has been larger than anticipated by the HM Treasury's panel of independent forecasters.
Mm, mm, wonderful. Wonderful. What can you
Sure.
add briefly to what Mary said regarding the impact on our finances, like personally?
Yes. Yes. We actually live in a country, which our country is extremely supportive, of the local
Mm,
councils, the businesses and the corporates and stuff, and they have
mm,
actually, implemented multiple schemes, in relation to job retention scheme. We had,
mm, mm.
payment holidays. So,
Yeah,
although the COVID-19 impact has been quite significant in the UK, but at the time, there has been support, from the government to ensure that there is actually economic stability in the UK. So, there's also businesses in the UK that were offered bounce back, loan scheme. They were offered
loans.
the
Yeah.
coronavirus, business interruption loan scheme as well. There were HMRC tax deferrals too. And also in relation to people who unfortunately they lost their jobs. And
Yeah.
the government also ensured universal credit claim decisions were made under 48 hours, so they were able to actually apply for
Mm,
the state benefits as soon as possible.
wonderful. Wonderful. Mary.
Mhm.
Hello, Mary. Can you hear
Yes, I'm
us?
here. Yes, please.
Good,
Yes.
good, 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 good. Yeah, yeah. Mary, if someone has sent a question asking, could you tell us what they can do regarding their spending habits? And the second question is, if you're struggling with debt, what should you do? Would you like to tackle the first one, or you can do both together?
Okay. If you ask like our spending habits, I'll start with the spending habit.
Okay,
Right. Okay. I said financial education was never taught. I mean, anywhere you
I know.
lived, I mean, in the world, and we have no mentor. So everything we are learning by ourselves, right?
Yeah,
But when you
yeah, yeah,
spend
yeah.
more, when
Exactly.
you spend more, people are actually spending more than they earn, right? And they are
Mm-hmm.
living within their means, right? So they are creating more every day. I mean, they are creating debt every day, and they are borrowing more to pay bills instead of paying bills from their income. They're actually borrowing because their income is enough for them, and they are overspending month in and month out. And they are living on instant gratification. It's like anything, because they are not disciplined enough. Anything they see, they just want to buy, or they want to have it because it looks nice and all, right?
Okay.
But biblically, if you go into, just a little bit about the Bible, it says that we should be content. The Bible says that godliness with content is great gain. So we have to be disciplined with our spending, right? And there's something, if you are not disciplined enough, even if you get an increase in your income, you still spend. So being disciplined, it's all about, if you want to like curtail, or like if you want to change your spending habits, right, you have to be disciplined. Okay. So living within your means, and then not buying or spending when it's not necessary, and saving enough money. So when you get your income, it's like you save before you even spend, and you spend on what is right, and just don't just buy anyhow. Just
You know,
live
the shops
live
too
with
have a way. the shops have the way of attracting us to buy things that we might not need, like buy two and get the third one free, things like that. Very tempting. You feel, let me buy, put
Yes,
it down, even though I don't need it now, maybe I might need it in the future. And you realize that, come summertime or winter, you donating all those items to charity because you might not be in need of these things. So the shops also have a way of
that's right.
tempting us, and it's very, tempting.
Yes. That is why before you buy anything, you have to analyze or weigh, is
Have a
this a
list.
need or a, do I need or do I want this?
Mm,
You need food to survive, right?
yeah.
You need fuel in your car to go to work. Some people drive to work. So you need fuel in your car to drive to work, but you don't need fuel
Mm,
in your car to go to, say, a disco or to visit friend when it's
yeah.
not
To
necessary.
have fun.
So you have to weigh everything on a need or a want. If it's a need, by all means, do it. But if it's a want,
Mm,
you have to analyze, do I have enough income? Have I saved first
mm,
before
mm.
buying or this?
I think we
Yeah.
have to prioritize our day-to-day expenditure. What is very important? Is it the roof over your head or spending money and going out every weekend? So we need to prioritize, our needs.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. And then we also have to curb our appetite for nice things. So we have to
Mm.
stop borrowing. Don't give what you don't have. People just want to even care what is happening to them, right? So they
Mm,
give
mm,
they
mm,
come
mm.
and then give to another person just because they want
Okay,
to impress. Good, is going to have an
okay.
effect on finances, right? And if you are in debt,
Mm,
pay it off. Yeah, pay it off.
okay,
When you pay off,
okay,
not have enough, you will not have enough cash to spend. Okay, to spend unnecessarily. So if you have
okay.
debt, make sure you are paying it down first. And another
Mm,
thing is, you can pay cash for everything that you buy, right?
mm,
There's a thing about using debit or credit card. It's like you don't see how much you're spending. Before you know, you come home and then you realize that, oh, I spent £1,000 when I wanted to spend only £10. But if you use
okay.
cash, it will. Okay. And then a lot of people also dine out a lot when they don't, I mean, when they can actually cook at home. And when you even cook at home, it's like you do your own cooking. It's more healthier because dining out, you don't know what is in the food. Most people like adding all these MSGs, which is not good for our health. So as much as we have to be careful, saving money and spending less, we have to be also careful about, what goes into our bodies. Yeah, because if you don't eat well, in the long run, it will have an effect on your health and then on your money. So everything about your health, your spending habit, everything comes in together. And then that bit about if you're struggling with debt. Hi, Vicky. Are we still here? Hello? Okay, I'll carry on. Right. Okay. If you're struggling with debt, you have to assess your financial situation, right? And then know how deep that debt, and then have a plan, which is a budget, to actually like run your day-to-day finances. So your income, on your budget, you have your income and then your expenditure, your outgoing. So you know how much you have to pay out and how much is actually necessary to pay out, how much you have to keep, because it's not everything that you have to spend on. But when you have everything on paper, as in black and white, you are able to manage your finances, right? So if you are struggling, the first thing is assess your financial situation and do a budget for your living expenditure. In the UK, you can also assess government. You can access help from different agencies. like Debt Advice UK, Age UK, Money Saving Expert. They give you good advice on debt. So as much as you are doing things like managing your debt yourself, if it's too much and you can't handle it, seek help, whether a financial coach, financial mentor, financial advisor, or seek help from an agency. Some of them are step chains, you free advice. Citizens Advice Bureau, they give you free financial advice. So this is what I would do if I'm struggling with my debt.
Okay, thank you. Let's give it to Sajid to explain
Sure.
its main function. What do you think people can come to you for? What service can you provide to people to help them in this difficult situation? Sajid.
Sure. We are actually we're a national firm of financial advisors, and what we do is we specialize in investments and savings, pensions, pension transfers, specialist and non-specialist both types, business and personal protection, and as well, all types of insurances. For example, um, private medical insurance and life insurance, critical illness cover, and professional indemnity insurance, for the corporates as well, and also the group protection insurances too that could be beneficial for the groups and for major corporates. Aside from that, we also the firm they specialize in a mortgage and a equity release as well, and we also have an arm in relation to the commercial finance, and also assisting, with the employee benefits, the P11D benefits in kind as well.
Great.
Now,
Continue.
yes, sure. I wanted to, Mary, she made some really good points in relation to the instant gratification and the current savings as well. What's currently happening, with them at this moment in time. There's one thing in particular, that has been quite beneficial for individuals in the UK, which I believe the government actually has, done a significant favor. It's the JRS. The impact of job retention scheme, which has allowed people to actually to take advantage of the furlough itself, has been extraordinary, and the scale of the uptake for JRS has been extraordinary at 7.5 billion jobs covered by the scheme, which was implemented by the government. I think it was on 20th of April, and a quarter of the working population of the UK actually has has actually been they have benefited from that, and also around 935,000 businesses currently in the UK, they are currently using that scheme as well. And also, recently we heard the news from the Office of Budget Responsibility, the OBR. They estimated the JRS will ultimately lead to £58 billion of the government borrowing at this moment in time. And from the initial modeling, we think the COVID-19 situation is going to run till the 4th of December, which actually has been confirmed in the news today.
Wow.
So that is something in particular which is like to be concerned about in the near future.
So the problem is, if before the government is giving people 80%, and now they change the percentage to 60%, how can people live on 60%? Because 60% will take some people's rent will take 60% off straight away. What is the advice you guys would give someone? Maybe I should give it to Mary first, then the same question to you. because we want to tap into
Sure.
both of your expertise to solve this one. So I'm
Sure.
going to give you back to Sister Vicky now. Sister Vicky, can you hear us?
Mhm.
No, your audio is not back, so you need to turn off and back on again. Why Sister Mary is giving the answer to this? Go ahead, Sister Mary.
Yes. So okay. So you mean if your income not enough, right?
Yeah,
So
if before you're getting 100%,
it's
then they change it to
100%.
80%, then they change it to 60%.
Right. Okay. So there's funding or assistance by the government, depending on the category of person you are, whether you are like an individual employee, or you have you have your own business, or you are registered as a as a limited company. So there's help for everyone. And if the money is not enough for you, you can also access government benefits. One thing that is happening is for self-employed, or for self-employed, there's self-employed income support. So you can access that, and depending on your current situation, you could get some funding or income from there. There's universal credit, so you'll be assessed. And as a self-employed individual, you can still access universal credit. Universal credit will take total look at your income, and then assess you as as in if you need more income, if they need to come in you. And for a self-employed individual or for your business, there's a bounce back. There's business interruption loan as well. And then there is your income tax is also deferred. So you are not only looking at the 60% of income that you are earning, there are other help that could come in support that 60%, right? Especially if you are if you need housing support, like renting, you could also apply for housing benefits through universal credit, or like anything you need, just go onto the government.co.uk site and then access other funding, and then they will come in to help you. That could even go on with the 60%, that could add on to be 80 or 100%. For an individual, there is that you can also access universal credit, and universal credit looks at your total income. So if the 60% is not enough for you, and they can prop it up to another level depending on your household needs. Income support will support you.
But
So that could
they reckon they might think you don't need income, but in reality you need money. They can only assess you with what they think is good for you. If you're the type of person that this is your lifestyle before, no matter how you want to cut the lifestyle, they're not going to do that. Let's
that's
go to
right.
Sajid on this one. Let's go to Sajid. Go ahead, sir.
Yeah, very interesting. Analysis, by Sister Mary on that. Currently, what we had is like, the 60% inflation was recommended to government, but it wasn't fully made functional. So the current percentage is still 80% of the usual monthly wage costs, and up to £2,500 a month, on the job retention scheme, which comes through the employer itself, right? For certain corporates, like currently are doing at the moment, like individuals who are currently taking advantage of the job retention scheme at 80%, some of the employers, they pay 20%, to them in addition, and they give them 100% of their salary every single month. So they would still receive 100%. Certain cases, this process, which is the job retention scheme, it's a two-phase process. It was actually it was put in place on the 4th of sorry, it was, I think, put in place for 4 months on the 1st of March, but it is quite possible that in approximately it is going to be extended up to July, and then eventually the second phase kicks in after the end of July, where the employers would be encouraged to bring their employees back, but still at the same time they will furloughed, and they will still be able to take advantage of the 80%, which the government would be paying them. And in addition, that 20% if the employer wants to pay the employees anyway.
Oh, great. Yeah. I think
In
Sister
in
Vicky, are you back? Oh, we can't hear you still. Shame. But technology won't fail
I,
because
I,
there's always a way out. Quick question.
sorry,
This is for both of you.
sure.
Maybe for laugh. It might be a question for laugh. Why Sister Vicky turned our system off completely and back on again completely? Maybe that will fix it. Why she's doing that? This one, right? You're telling people to cut their cost,
Yeah.
but a husband and a wife are home. They might be tempted to make more babies and create more expenses. What's your take on this one? Maybe this time around,
That's
I'll
a
give
really
it to
good
the lady
question.
first because the lady knows how to control things
Sure.
better than men.
So we want to reduce costs, right? And then make more money. Is that the question? Ade?
The question
Can you?
is, the question is, people are trying to save money now, but the husband is at home working from home, the wife is at home working from home. They're gonna see themselves more. In the case of eventuality, they end up making more babies. Then they're gonna struggle more. What is your advice to them on this one?
Okay, right. Now that people are in lockdown, right, and a lot of people are in isolation, they are not working, they are actually at home. They are also, as much as their expenditure with food is going up, they are also saving money with traveling. So traveling costs have gone down. If you are working, you'll be spending money on food at work. Most people don't take food to work, so they spend at work too. So there's a lot of savings that is going to be passed on whilst you are in lockdown, right? So you have to look at your expenditure before and expenditure now, and your income before and your income
Can you hear
now.
me?
Yeah,
Yes,
thank
Vicky,
you.
we can.
Yeah, I'll give it back to you then. Thank you very much, Sister Vicky. Take over now, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Mary, go on.
Yes, so you have to look at your expenditure before, expenditure now, and your income before and income now. And a lot of people now saving more money. And if you are saving more money, you are supposed or required, right, to to put the money where do not overspend unnecessarily. Now, if you
Okay.
go and buy clothing, where are you going? You don't need it. The things that we used to spend our money on before, spending on it now. No parties, nothing, anything. So it's like more chance of saving the money. If you are in lockdown and things are happening and you think that, there's a baby coming up, in the future or something, plan ahead for that baby. Don't put a burden on someone else. So you plan now for the future. That is why we always think about your generation. Don't bring
Okay.
kids into the world to suffer. Plan for them now.
Okay.
Now it's easier. There's so much that people are doing now. So yeah, it's easier to save now because you are going out to buy anything. The only
Okay.
thing that
All right.
gone up is food. Yeah,
Okay.
food and
Mr.
energy.
Sajid, sorry, Mary. Mr. Sajid, on a local level, what is the current situation regarding employment and market movement, considering UK businesses?
once again,
Sajad, can you
what
hear me?
sure I can.
Sajad, can you hear me? Sajad, can you hear
Can
me?
yes, I can hear me.
Yes, Sajad, can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
Yes. My question was, on a level, what is the current situation regarding employment and market movement, considering smaller UK businesses?
As I referred to a couple of schemes, the COVID-19 financial support schemes which have been implemented by the Chancellor, they have been actually in stability for the UK economy.
Okay.
There have been
Okay.
schemes like the coronavirus business interruption loan scheme, the back loan
Okay.
scheme,
Okay.
the
Okay.
HMS tax deferrals, things like that.
Okay. All right, brilliant. And what is the future of the UK GDP?
The UK GDP is at, initially the GDP, because of what has happened in the quarter of 2020, we also anticipate a more fall in this quarter as well. So the UK looks set to follow a partial lockdown throughout 2020. So I personally that it's going to take the end of the year for us to be fully out of the lockdown and for the coronavirus to be actually controlled. We heard the 4th of December, the coronavirus anticipated to last till 4th of December 2020. And in that, it would be the responsibility of all financial institutions itself, and also, the 9 million and the 6 million workers, in the shutdown sectors of the UK, they have to bear the brunt of these crises. Like, we currently have, the NHS nurses and the stuff, and the retail, specialists, and the retail assistants. So they have brunt, to the.
Mary, how do we achieve financial freedom? Apart from this question, if you add anything to what Sajad said, this question goes to you. How achieve financial freedom?
Right. Achieve freedom. I know about 6 pillars of wealth, right? And these 6 pillars of
Okay.
wealth, you have to have them, right, or plan to have them in place. And the earlier you start, now the first one is saving. So if you don't have any savings in place, start it now. And if you can, do at least 10% of your income. And if you can even add more, 10%, 15%, 20%, or even at least try and do something. So save for your future. Also, you have to have a pension in place, right? So whether it's a private pension or if you have a workplace pension, and if you can also like add in more, and then most companies, they would, if you add into your workplace pension, they will actually match it. So let's say you pay 5%, they will add another 5%, which is free money. So we have to take advantage of that. And we also, one of the best way of investing is through the stocks and shares. A lot of people don't like stocks and shares. They think because there's a lot of volatility, it's like going up and down. They think it's not the best investment, but to me and other people that I know, it's one of the best. It all depends on which industry or where you invest. I normally invest
Okay.
in
Okay.
through mutual funds. It's more safer. And when the stock price go down, just the economy would bounce back, and then things will get better. So the prices will always go higher. And then
Okay.
you should also invest in
Okay.
properties. Properties, because properties, as in if you can, because you'll be getting money in your old age. You'll be getting money, or even now, starting from now, if you invest in rental properties. As much as you get in rental income, the property is also appreciating in value. So you get equity in that property. And you can also start business, right? So it's like you look at, who you are, yeah, and the mandate on your life or your talent, and then start something in a business. Because most people can only make money or create business. And business you can always
Yes,
pass down.
not
But
you.
in your old age,
Not to interrupt
more
you,
money.
Mary. During this lockdown, a lot of businesses have sprung up. People have been able to discover themselves,
Right.
doing stuff with their fingers, thinking of, I'm very good in cooking. I can do delivery, cooking their own food, sometimes sewing stuff. It has really brought up a lot of businesses whilst we're in lockdown.
Yeah. And one thing I will also say is insurance, right? Most people don't like paying for premiums. But if you think about it in the longer term, it's like now you will not need it. But what if you need it, right? So there's personal insurance, which I recommend everybody should have personal insurance, life insurance actually. And serious illnesses, you don't expect to have anything. It's like you expect to have good health, right? And bless God, and we all hope for the best, but who knows for the future? You don't know. Income protection,
Okay.
yeah, for your income, because you don't know what is, nobody knew that coronavirus was coming, right? But if you had income protection, income affected in coronavirus time, you can also always fall back on your insurance. So all these should, if you do all this in your old age, when you don't to work anymore, you're getting income here, your share, you can sell a share and then get more money from your shares. You'll be getting income from your business. Many things will be coming in, but you have to start now. You have to plan ahead now. Nobody is going to do it for you.
All right. Great. Okay.
And one more thing I also advise on is, whilst we are doing good things or learning new things, learning new habits, we should also teach our kids to also live a healthy financial life, right? So avoid spending, save, do this, do that, because it's like you teaching your children to you teach your children to live a healthy financial life, and then they will also teach their children. So in a way, it's like you are creating generational wealth. So it's not only for yourself, because you don't want in your old age that your daughter or your son will come to you, mommy, I need this, mommy, I need that, I'm not working, can you help me buy this? But if you teach your children, the right way, when they need it, it's like you believe. So that, yeah, that's, I mean, that.
Okay. All right. Let me go to Sajad. Talking about Mary, how to achieve financial freedom. There are different ways you advise people to invest in various kind of projects. One of them is guilt. If you could, tell us how to, get financial freedom and what is guilt. This is my first time of seeing this. I know it's a kind of bond, isn't it?
Yes. Gilts are bonds that are issued by the British government, and they're generally considered a low-risk equivalent to US securities. And they are actually offered through the government's debt management office. And when you buy them, you are effectively lending money to the government, which promises to pay back the amount in full, which is called the principal, at a set date, or the gilt expiry date. Could be anything 3 years, 5 years, 20 years, 25 years, and along with the interest, which is known as the coupon value of the gilt itself. right? Now, in relation to your question, about the achieving the financial freedom, there was a couple of things which were mentioned by Sister Mary, in relation to the life insurance and the importance of that. I cannot emphasize the importance of life insurance and the protection, for yourself and
For
for
family.
the for your family as well, because the reason is. Because the family safeguard is actually it's paramount, and life insurance is actually a safeguard against life's misfortunes, and it is an essential protection that everyone should have in place. However, it should only be taken out after comprehensive financial advice from the financial
Advice.
advisors.
Yeah.
Right. So sometimes what we see is like, we have people who actually go to the comparison websites, they will purchase the, off the shelf
Yes.
life insurance. And
Yes.
unfortunately, um, from the comparison sites, it is not the suitable option. And the reason why it's not suitable is because your personal and financial circumstances, they are not considered, and so are not your assets against the liabilities. They're not considered too. So it becomes extremely important for one individual to take specialist, financial advice before having them in place. And if you already have purchased items or any other form of protection like income protection and family income benefit or a decreasing term protection or mortgage protection in place, it is always good to have that checked through by a qualified and certified financial or a protection advisor who specializes, who has the customer function 30 to actually advise on the protection itself.
Okay. Wonderful. Okay. I would like to take a little break. That from have a sip of water. We've been talking for almost an hour. So, ladies and gentlemen, let's take a break, get some advert for both experts, and we'll be back in about 3 minutes.
Cheers.
Welcome to 2Plan, one of the UK's leading financial advice companies. Think of us as a national firm of financial advisors, each with our own client relationships and expertise, backed up by administration, technology and regulatory specialists, and authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority. Providing you with professional advice about pensions, investments, insurance and mortgages, to help you fulfill your plans for the future and deal with life events along the way. At 2Plan, we offer a straightforward way of working based around what's best for you. You can get one-off advice or an ongoing service looking after your long-term finances, always following our tried and tested 4-step process designed to ensure that you're always in control, clear about your options, and comfortable with your decisions. Beginning with consultation, this is where we get to know each other. We'll explain what we offer, how we work, and the cost of our services. Then we build a complete picture of your current situation and your aspirations for the future, taking on board your preferences and assessing your attitude to investment risk, as well as your ability to deal with market fluctuations. Remember, markets can go down as well as up. Step 2 is advice. We'll develop a financial strategy tailored to your needs. When you've agreed the recommendations, then and only then, we'll move to step 3. Implementing your financial plan. We'll help you with the paperwork, liaise with providers, and ensure everything runs smoothly for you. Of course, circumstances and priorities change. Which brings us to step 4, ongoing service. This is an optional service for a separate charge, but it means that we can regularly review your situation and revise your plans where necessary. Of course, you can also contact your advisor at any time and keep an eye on your portfolio through our personal 2-Plan Wealth Management website. Whatever level of service you require, any charges are clearly explained and agreed before you commit to anything. And there are different ways to pay, usually through advisor charges or commission, depending on your choices. It's all about providing you with the financial information and advice you need, helping you to fulfill your aspirations and enjoy the lifestyle you want. For more information, talk to your advisor.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for staying with us throughout the show. Sajad, are you there?
Yes, I'm here with
I've
you.
got you guys. Yeah, wonderful.
Mhm.
Sajad, a quick one. What impact of COVID-19 in the UK? What has it been? And please advise us of the UK government briefly.
Sorry, you would have to repeat the question. You were breaking up, and I couldn't.
Okay.
I didn't quite catch that.
Sorry about that. Okay. What has been the impact of COVID-19 in the UK? Please advise us of the UK government
Borrowing. Okay. So you're asking me about the impact of COVID-19 in the UK at this moment in time.
Yep.
Yes. So I would like to refer to once and recently revised their estimates of public sector net for 2020 and 2021 for 1 year, based on the first quarter of 2020. They thought that their borrowing year for 2020 to 2021 would be 73 billion pounds, but it has actually increased to almost 300 billion pounds. Now, this is actually the highest amount of government borrowing as of the economy since the Second World War. Okay, so far the debt management, which I referred to previously, which I referred to previously in relation to the purchase of the UK gilts, they have actually successfully raised 80 billion pounds, from the gilt auctions since mid-March, without deterioration in market indicators of demand at this moment in time. Now, in the quarter two and the quarter three, we will see some further decline in the GDP. And at the same time, what we will also see is that the second phase of the government's support schemes, for businesses and individuals, it will be further implemented. And there's one thing we have to be particularly cautious about in the UK is that we do not enhance the R factor, which is the infection spread rate in the UK. We have to make sure that we keep the distance of 2 meters and make sure that we do not actually just make sure we maintain social distancing when we are meeting individuals, or obviously when you're meeting someone through shopping in the superstores, or just make sure that you are maintaining the distance of 2 meters.
Brilliant. This next question is for both of you. What does the UK economic recovery look like in the near future? What's the recovery looking like? Is it going to take long?
I would actually refer to something called a V-shaped economic recovery for the UK at this moment in time. Why? There's one particular factor, which would make it more like is for us to achieve the V-shaped recovery in the UK. If the virus has already spread further than we are generally thinking and generally assuming at this moment in time. So, if it is true that the virus, the COVID-19 virus, is actually spread to to a wider population in the UK at this moment in time, then it will have three positive implications, right? How these implications work? Because this means we, at this moment in time, the fatality rate, from the virus, would be, it is actually lower than it is generally being assumed, and the confidence of people, they will actually want to go back to work as well. And at this moment in time, we know surprisingly little about the spread, but the more people actually have the virus being spread to, the more immunity we would have actually developed, at this moment in time.
Okay, brilliant. Mary, add something to what Sajad has told us. What does the UK economic recovery look like in the future, Mary?
Yeah,
Your take on that.
Yeah. For now, you can't actually predict. You can't predict for now. However,
Okay.
what I think, because the government is supporting businesses and then individuals, it's like when the recovery starts, or when you are finally out of lockdown and then the businesses start operating, it will be much better. So it's like they come out and then they start operating straight away, instead of coming out and not having any money in their account to prop up their businesses, right? So the government stepping in to support businesses with grants and business loans and all that is going to help them to start their businesses straight away after the lockdown. However, because the government has been borrowing beyond their normal borrowing requirements, they are going to be in debt, and that is going to take a bit longer, unfortunately, to recover. So it's like you can't actually predict. You can't say for sure this is how it's going to go, but you can argue it that an expenditure which has to be recovered, and then but however the businesses are going to go straight into operations.
Wonderful. That's very good answer. Sajad, can we weather the coming storm of economic crisis? Can we?
Sorry. Sure.
Can we weather the storm?
Oh, certainly. Of course we can.
The coming storm and economic crisis,
Yes. We are a strong nation with grit and determination, and I'm pretty sure we will get through this, certainly. And this pandemic has been, it has clearly had and it's been quite hard for everybody, and it will continue to have profound impacts, on households and corporations, in advanced economies too. And from a national perspective, from the UK economy itself, I would say that we are perfectly fine, because we have tremendous support from the government as well, from the Chancellor too, and also people, and everybody is playing their part. However, one implication and one concern would be the ability for other nations and the emerging economies to come out of this storm. So in a global comparison, I would say some countries which have very small or low levels of illiquid assets, which means they have less savings and they have less, less of the liquid wealth to sustain them through the prolonged lockdowns.
Okay.
They will be forced to come back out of the lockdown sooner than later. And because of,
Right.
the unorganized workforce as well, and so it would take a long time for them. They will surely struggle.
Wow. Okay.
Mm.
Great. Finally, Mr. Hussein, what would
Sure.
you be your message to individuals and businesses in this pandemic? Finally, what can you say to individuals and businesses through pandemic?
Yeah. COVID-19 is, yes, it is currently a tough situation, but the message, remains the same. Try not to let the short-term distractions like this influence the management of your investments or finances or your businesses, or don't change your mindset, because all the government support is available. They're there for you. The local councils are there for you as well. The payment holidays are there for you. The HMRC tax deferral is there for you as well. So make sure that you take advantage of all of them. And also, after all, if you're concerned about the investments, investments are designed to deliver returns over a period of at least 6 years to 7 years anyway. And we, as financial advisors, expect the UK to bounce back, from the current scenario sooner than later. So, but we have to keep a very positive and an optimistic, frame of mind. And finally, I would like to emphasize the importance of, personal protection, which is the personal insurance. It is an extreme factor when planning for your financial future. So every single one of us, we should have at least minimum cover in place to protect your assets, your family members, your loved ones, and any potential liabilities that may become a burden on your finances or in the near future. Okay.
Okay. All right. Brilliant. Brilliant. I was going to ask you this question, but I think it all depends on the individual. That what is the minimum for one to have to invest? Come and see you and put it in investment, the minimum amount. Some will start in millions, some in thousands.
You can, the first thing the first thing you should do is take a look at your pension position, first of all. Like, how Sister Mary, she referred to the private pensions in place, and also if you have an employee's, pension as well.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the state pen in the UK is not sufficient for one individual to live on. The government is going to give you £173 a week and approximately £9 a year. So it's not gonna be efficient, and it's not gonna be beneficial for you. So you always need to have either a private pension provision in place, or you need to have your employer's pension in place so that you can actually take advantage of the extra the tax that you're currently paying. You get that 20% back of that if you're a basic rate taxpayer. So these so in terms of your initial question, the minimum amount of investment, there is no minimum amount of investment that can actually be beneficial for you. You can start with an individual savings ISA. You can put in whatever you can spare, like 100 quid, £200, £300 into a stocks and shares or a relevant ISA that you have in place. Yes, as long as you don't stretch the annual allowance of 20,000. So you have £20,000 of annual allowance, which is you can have every single year. There are tax advantages for that as well. So certainly you should actually give it a try. Any further information that you need on ISAs, feel free to give us a shout. We're more than happy to help you.
Okay, wonderful. Later on, I think I'll ask you to give your contact details. So let me go to Mary. Mary, you remember when I gave the introduction, I also mentioned you are an author. How many books have you written?
Yes, I have 4 books.
And what
Two of
led
them.
you to write Debt to Wealth?
Right. Okay.
Okay.
That it's because I was actually struggling. So it started with myself. I was struggling with my finances before. The thing is, because I was working in the bank, it's a requirement, a good credit score. And then the bank sees it as a good customer. So they send you a pre-approved loan, pre-approved credit card. When you accept it without planning, planning for that money, it's like you're going to waste it. And that is what I was doing. So I would take the money,
Okay.
big money, spend it anyhow. How I realized that the interest alone that you are paying on these loans and credit cards, that actually being your investment without investing the interest alone that the bank is taking from you, it's like you're making them rich, but then your pocket is also suffering. So I thought, I don't do something about this myself and then teach my children how to avoid debt and then start saving and investing, they are also going to fall into this trap, and it's going to create generational,
Okay.
poverty. So I was thinking about generational wealth, right?
Okay.
So advising myself and then other people of what I've actually come to realize or my experiences. So avoid debt and then start investing, because you want to enjoy your pensions in your old age. You want your children to come and enjoy good life. You want to make wealth and pass on to your children. You
Exactly.
want your children to pass on and then create generational wealth. So that was what led me to write the book.
Oh, okay. Do you provide other services, Mary?
Yes, I do financial coaching. So anybody who wants
Okay.
to invest, I do coaching, not financial advice. So Sanjay will be there for financial
Okay.
advice. I coach people.
Advice.
So if you want to invest and also have debt that you want coaching as to how to pay it off or how to avoid it, then I could come in and then help and support, and then start investing so
Okay.
you can look forward to a brighter future, and then learn good habits so you can also pass on to your children and to your children's
Okay.
children.
Wonderful. Wonderful. So where can I have your book? What's the link?
Right.
Link to purchase book if you want to buy it and read it or buy it for family and friends.
Yes.
How do we get the
My
book?
website,
And how
maryIEC.com.
do we contact? Well, okay.
Yeah, maryIEC.com. All my books are on my website. However, you can also buy it from
Okay.
Amazon. Apple iBooks stocks it. All the major
Okay.
bookshop, online bookshops, they have it. Or if you just Google my name,
Okay.
you find it online to
Okay.
buy. Yeah. And I always say to
Okay.
people that it doesn't
Oh.
help you, it doesn't bless you, if it doesn't change your habits, or if it doesn't change your thinking. If you think the book was a waste of investment, just come to me. I'll give you 100% of your money, or even 200% of your of the money back. Yeah, because I
Back.
just want
Oh.
to help. Yeah.
Okay, great. Sajad, if people want to contact you, can you give us your contact details for them to see you with investment and advice?
Sure. We have. You can always contact me on my personal number, which is 075 99822 763. And you can also
Okay.
email me on the company email address, which is my first name,
Okay.
SAJJAD at onefinancialsolutions.co.uk, or you can visit our
Okay.
website, which is onefinancialsolutions.co.uk, and we have we are quite fortunate to be the top UK financial advising company, and we are top rated, vouched for financial advice company in the UK at this moment in time. And all of our advisors, we have 10 plus advisors in the company, and everybody is rated at least 4.9. And I'm personally, I am a 5-star rated advisor and currently ranked number 1 in the Greater Manchester region.
Whoa! Congratulations. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Cheers, thank you.
When you gave your mobile number out, can someone call you at 10 p.m.?
No.
Yeah, that's a funny question.
10 p.m. is quite late.
Anyway,
But
I
I'll be
know.
happy to take the call at 9 o'clock if that's all right.
At 9 o'clock. Viewers, have you heard
Yeah.
that? So Sajad is available time from morning till 9 o'clock, and you know, whatever advice, guidance you need. Same as Mary. Up to what time can one contact an appointment to see you?
9 o'clock, up to 9 o'clock is not bad. However,
Same. Wonderful.
send a WhatsApp message or even an email.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Both of you, starting with Mary, would you like to give a shout out to anybody, maybe family, work colleague? Just give a shout out.
Oh, yeah. I
Starting
would
from
say,
Mary.
yeah. I would say hello, especially to Nick. That's my husband. Yeah, I'm sure he's watching. Yeah, he's actually encouraged me to be where I am today, and I want to say thank you. And all my friends who are watching as well, I say thank you. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting me, and I hope that change our habits so that we can create wealth for our future and live comfortably. Yeah.
Wonderful.
I've got.
Sajad?
I would like
Mary,
to
you're
say
not
thank
done.
you.
Hello.
Mary,
Yes.
sorry, are you done?
No, I've got one more friend who was online before I saw her online.
Okay.
Her
Okay.
Joyce. Joyce Ampofu.
Okay.
Yeah. So I want to say hello
Okay.
and thank you, and then watching. Yes, thank you. Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Joyce Ampofo. All right then. Oh, okay. All right. Sajad, your turn then. Any shout outs?
Yes, I would like to say thank you to, first of all, you guys, for arranging this for us today, for myself and for Mary. And
Thank
I would like
you.
to also give
Thank you.
a pleasure. And I would like to give a shout out to my company as well, our organization, One Financial Solutions. Always the best company in the UK at this moment in time. And I would like to say thank you to our listeners, and especially my friends and family members who actually have been listening to me tonight. And
Okay.
they were looking forward to the information in regarding COVID-19. So I hope they have actually enjoyed the thorough analysis today for the show.
Okay. Okay. This program has been very, very educative in spite of the few hitches. So we like to show appreciation. Thank you so much for being patient with us. Sajad and Mary. I think we wouldn't mind having you come on when there's any changes, or if there's new information that you want to pass out and advise, inform us, not advise, but inform us on these issues. So live on air, I would like you to agree to come on again next time. Are you up for it?
Certainly. Of
Yes,
course,
please, we
certainly.
will.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate your presence and your time and impacting your knowledge on, all of us. People listen to us all over the country and even abroad. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you so, 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 so much for being patient with us, for staying with us throughout this program. Thank you for your support. I believe that next week, same time, you are going to be with us again for another interesting week. And I'd like to give a shout out to Maria Mwakwabu, belated happy birthday. She's the president of Ghana Women. We need men and women to get involved with this movement. It's a non-profit organization. They are the moment undertaking projects in Ghana, especially children and trees and women dying during childbirth. One of the few projects that they are taking up onto themselves. So you want to get in touch with them, go on Facebook, Ghana Diaspora Women, and there's a link there for you to contact Marie Amwakwa Bodu. She's doing a wonderful job. Sajad and Mary, thank you so much. Take good care of yourself. Stay safe. And I also like to
thank
say
you.
thank you to our NHS staff, frontline staff. We do appreciate you for all the hard work you do and your sacrifices. Thank you. I'll continue to say thank you to cut it because of the time. Have a lovely evening. I'll see you next week. Stay blessed.
Thank you.
Welcome to 2Plan, one of the UK's leading financial advice companies. Think of us as a national firm of financial advisors, each with our own client relationships and expertise, backed up by administration, technology and regulatory specialists, and authorised and regulated by the Financial Conduct Authority. Providing you with professional advice about pensions, investments, insurance and mortgages, to help you fulfill your plans for the future and deal with life events along the way. At 2Plan, we offer a straightforward way of working based around what's best for you. You can get one-off advice or an ongoing service looking after your long-term finances, always following our tried and tested 4-step process designed to ensure that you're always in control, clear about your options, and comfortable with your decisions. Beginning with consultation, this is where we get to know each other. We'll explain what we offer, how we work, and the cost of our services. Then we build a complete picture of your current situation and your aspirations for the future, taking on board your preferences and assessing your attitude to investment risk, as well as your ability to deal with market fluctuations. Remember, markets can go down as well as up. Step 2 is advice. We'll develop a financial strategy tailored to your needs. When you've agreed the recommendations, then and only then, we'll move to step 3. Implementing your financial plan. We'll help you with the paperwork, liaise with providers, and ensure everything runs smoothly for you. Of course, circumstances and priorities change, which brings us to step 4, ongoing service. This is an optional service for a separate charge, but it means that we can regularly review your situation and revise your plans where necessary. Of course, you can also contact your advisor at any time and keep an eye on your portfolio through our personal 2Plan Wealth Management website. Whatever level of service you require, any charges are clearly explained and agreed before you commit to anything. And there are different ways to pay, usually through advisor charges or commission, depending on your choices. It's all about providing you with the financial information and advice you need, helping you to fulfill your aspirations and enjoy the lifestyle you want. For more information, talk to your advisor.
Everybody in London, have you heard that Heritage Television has come up with something new? All your functions and celebrations can now be multi-camera live stream. That was only reserved for the rich and famous. Having a function in London can be viewed clean and clear immediately from any part of the world. Trust Heritage TV to give you a better reach. Heritage Television also does photography that will make you the envy of all your friends and family. Heritage Television is the best. All your functions like birthdays, funerals, weddings, church anniversaries or harvest. Heritage Television is the master. We are in the heart of London with an ultra-modern equipped studio. You can call us on 020-800-46100 or email us info@heritagetv.co.uk or mobile 0734 1234 560. Heritage Television will do you proud.